Hello, welcome to all. I am Sachin Sambhaji Patil. I welcome to all of you for the session. So, in this session, we are going to see the classification of amplifier. So, once again, I would like to welcome to all of you for the session. So, in this session, we are going to see classification of amplifier. So, actually, amplifier has been classified into the basically categories that is based on purpose of amplifier, based on frequency of amplification, based on position of Q point, and based on the type of coupling. Okay, these are the classification of amplifier. It is classified based on purpose of amplification, frequency, position of Q point, and type of coupling. So these are the different categories. So classification of amplifier based on purpose. So first of all, audio frequency amplifier. Okay, amplifier is being classified into the based on purpose, that is audio frequency amplifier, the radio frequency amplifier, or wideband amplifier. So in case of audio frequency amplifier which amplifies the audio frequency signal from the range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz is called as audio frequency amplifier. Okay, so 20 Hz to 20 kHz, this is the frequency which can be audible to a human being. Okay, and this is the frequency range which are using for amplifies the audio frequency signal in the range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. We can listen the frequency which is lies between the 20 Hz to 20 kHz. That is the audio frequency amplifier. That amplifier is called as audio frequency amplifier. So in case of radio frequency amplifier, second type is this radio frequency amplifier which amplify the input RF signal. RF means radio frequency signal. RF means radio frequency signal from the range of 300 kilohertz to 30 megahertz. The frequency lies between the 300 kilohertz to 30 megahertz. That frequency, if it is amplifying by that amplifier, then it is called as a radio frequency amplifier. So RF amplifier used in radio receiver. Radio frequency amplifier where it is used in radio receiver. Okay, so mostly in radio receiver we can see there is a AM receiver or FM receiver. AM, okay, so that is the AM is amplitude modulation and FM is frequency modulation. In that case of radio receiver, there are different kind of propagation techniques we are using. That is ground wave propagation, sky wave propagation, and space wave propagation. So which is having different range, that 30 kilohertz to 3 megahertz ground wave propagation, 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz that is a sky wave propagation, and 30 megahertz and above, that is a space wave propagation. Okay, so that is the most of the radio receiver using the AM receiver or FM receiver. So in that case mostly we are using this is the radio frequency amplifier which is amplifies the RF means radio frequency signal which lies between the 300 kilohertz to 30 megahertz. Those are the signal for ground wave propagation and sky wave, ground wave and sky wave propagation. In case of ground wave propagation, the signal is propagating along the surface of Earth. Okay, in case of sky wave propagation, the signal will be incident to the ionosphere layer and reflect to the Earth's surface. That is a sky wave propagation. In the space wave propagation, that is in the free space, that is for satellite communication using for space wave propagation. So this is the radio frequency signal which is amplifying for 300 kilohertz to 30 megahertz frequency range. This is called as radio frequency amplifier. So what is application is there? Radio receiver. So wideband amplifier which amplifies the video signal of wide bandwidth of 10 Hz to 5 megahertz. 10 Hz to 5 megahertz. The amplifier used in television receiver is wideband amplifier. Actually, wideband amplifier used in the television receiver. So I think you understood. Audio frequency amplifier using in the amplification of the audible frequency range, that is 20 Hz to 20 kHz, that we can hear. आपण जे ऐकू शकतो ती frequency range किती असते? 20 Hz to 20 kHz. If you are using to amplify that signal, that is called as audio frequency amplifier. Radio frequency amplifier, there is a radio frequency signals which are the transmitting by the transmitting antenna which are coming to the radio, and at the radio or receiver, we need a amplifier after receiving that signal, and that signal mostly of the ground wave propagation or sky wave propagation, that can be used for amplification. And we are separating modulating signal from that, and which is having the radio frequency amplifier, name is given. So that is mostly using in radio receiver, that is RF amplifier used in radio receiver. Wideband amplifier which are having the frequency range that is a 10 Hz to 5 MHz, that is for television signal transmission, that is a which is consist of audio and video signals, both signal transmission. So amplifier used in television receiver is wideband amplifier. Okay, so which is using the actually VSB technique, vestigial sideband modulation, and for that technique actually amplifier used in television receiver, that is a wideband amplifier, and which are using the bandwidth of frequency up to 5 MHz. Okay, which is using for amplification of video signal. Okay, for amplification of video signal we need a wideband amplifier. So classification of amplifier based on Q point. So Q point is called as quotient point. Okay, so if the quotient point where it is lies, the quotient point Q point lies on the center of DC load line. The lies on center of DC load line, it is called as class A power amplifier. If the Q point lies on the x-axis, it's called as class B power amplifier. Okay, and then Q point below the x-axis, that is class C power amplifier, and in between center of DC load line and the x-axis is called as class AB power amplifier. Okay, so these are the different amplifications. So what is load line, that will be understood later. So classification of amplifier based on the types of coupling. Types of coupling means to join the one stage to the another stage of amplifier, we need the coupling, that's a RC coupling, transformer coupling, and direct coupling. Coupling means what? It is the one amplifier stage is there, we have to connect the another amplifier stage. So to connect the another amplifier stage, we need the coupling between that, that is RC coupling or transformer coupling or direct coupling. So coupling is nothing but a joining. It is the connecting the one stage to the another stage of amplifier, that is called as coupling. So that is the this is the different from Q point, class A, class B, class C, class AB power amplifier. Okay, then we are getting this is the amplifier characteristic. So what is gain? So what do you mean by gain? Gain, it is nothing but it is a ratio of output quantity to the input quantity is called as gain. Gain, it is a ratio of output quantity to input quantity is called as gain. So what is a voltage gain? So what is output quantity in case of voltage? That is the output voltage. So it is a ratio of output voltage by input voltage is called as voltage gain. It's a ratio of output voltage by input voltage to the is called as voltage gain. So voltage gain AV is equal to V out by Vi. Okay, so this is the formula for voltage gain representing by AV. Okay, then what is a current gain? It is a ratio of output current by input current is called as current gain. Okay, so current gain is representing by output current to the input current. So it should be current. It should be current gain. So it is ratio of output current to the input current is called as current gain. Okay, so gain means it is ratio of the output to the input. Voltage gain means it is ratio of the output voltage to the input voltage. Current gain means it is ratio of the output current to the input current. In case of amplifier, voltage gain and current gain should be large as possible. As we know that what is amplifier? Amplifier, it is a circuit which amplifies or increasing the strength of input signal or increasing the voltage level of the input signal is called as amplifier. Or in the case of amplifier, voltage gain and current gain should be large as possible. If voltage gain is more, current gain is more, definitely power gain will be more, because power is equal to P is equal to V into I. So definitely power gain will be more. So input resistance of the amplifier. So input resistance of an amplifier is measured at input terminal of an amplifier. The input resistance Ri should be infinite and practically it should be large as possible. In case of amplifier, there is a condition, input resistance of amplifier should be infinite or it should be large as possible. This is the basic condition for if you want to design an amplifier. And output resistance is measured at the output terminal of an amplifier. The output resistance, it should be open circuited and practically it should be small as possible. In case of amplifier, output resistance, it should be small as possible. It should be small output resistance and input resistance should be high as possible. It should be large as possible. So what is the power gain? So power, it is nothing but it is a product of, or it is a multiplication of voltage and current. So power gain is defined as ratio of output power to input power is called as power gain. So AP is equal to P out by P in. So power gain should be infinite and practically it should be high as possible. So power gain, it is a ratio of the output power to the input power is called as power gain, and it should be infinite or it should be high as possible. Okay. So this is the okay. So actually we have seen in this lecture, that is the basically we have seen the classification of amplifier, which is classified based on this based on purpose, based on frequency, based on position of Q point, based on type of coupling. Actually amplifierचं क्लासिफिकेशन हे कशावरती केलेलं आहे, हे पर्पज म्हणजे हेतू. आता आपली एम्प्लिफायर आपण कशासाठी वापरतोय. ओके. बेस्ड ऑन फ्रिक्वेन्सी the high frequency amplifier, low frequency amplifier. Okay, depends upon the what kind of frequency we are giving. And position of Q point means याला क्वेश्चन पॉइंट असंही म्हणतात. हा जर सपोज सेंटर ऑफ डेन्सिटी लोड लाईन वरती असेल किंवा एक्स ॲक्सिसला असेल, त्याच्यावरून त्याचं क्लासिफिकेशन केलेलं आहे, म्हणजे क्लास ए, क्लास बी, क्लास ए बी, क्लास सी पॉवर एम्प्लिफायर. ओके. आणि बेस्ड ऑन टाइप्स ऑफ कपलिंग, म्हणजे कपलिंग करून कसं केलं जातं की कपलिंग म्हणजे काय, एक एम्प्लिफायर दुसऱ्या एम्प्लिफायरला जोडणे, एक स्टेज दुसऱ्या स्टेजला जोडणे, याला म्हणायचं कपलिंग. सो याच्यावरून ते केलं जातं. ओके. सो दॅट इज द इम्पॉर्टंट. सो दॅट इज गिवन द क्लासिफिकेशन बेस्ड ऑन दॅट. अँड नेक्स्ट इज द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एम्प्लिफायर बेस्ड ऑन द पर्पज. म्हणजे आता ऑडिओ फ्रिक्वेन्सी असेल, ऑडिओ फ्रिक्वेन्सी म्हणजे विच कॅन बी हिअर, आपण जे ऐकू शकतो तो सिग्नल जर एम्प्लिफाय केला असेल, त्या प्रकारचा सिग्नल जर आपल्याला एम्प्लिफाय करायचा असेल, त्याची स्ट्रेंथ वाढवायची असेल, तर त्याला काय म्हणायचं 20 किलो फ्रिक्वेन्सी रेंज असते, 20 ते 20 किलोहर्ट्झ रेंज असते. तर इफ यू आर युझिंग तशा प्रकारचा सिग्नल जर आपण एम्प्लिफाय करत असू, तर त्याला म्हणायचं ऑडिओ फ्रिक्वेन्सी एम्प्लिफाय. ओके. युझिंग दॅट एम्प्लिफाय. रेडिओ फ्रिक्वेन्सी म्हणजे काय, that is radio signals, that is the in the air there are so many signals, radio signals, satellite signals. Okay, mobile communication signals are there. Okay, there are so many signals, television signals are there. So radio signals which are using, that is the all India radio signals which is having the ground wave and sky wave propagation technique वापरतात. So that is having the frequency range, त्याची 300 किलोहर्ट्झ ते 30 मेगाहर्ट्झ फ्रिक्वेन्सी रेंज असते. या फ्रिक्वेन्सी रेंज मधला जर एखादा सिग्नल आपण एम्प्लिफाय करत असेल using that amplifier, and that amplifier is present in this RF amplifier in the radio receiver, म्हणजे रेडिओ रिसिव्हर मध्ये हा अवेलेबल असतो, and that is called as a radio frequency amplifier. Because after receiving that signal will be get converted into the RF signal to the IF signal, that's intermediate frequency signal. That signal will be get amplified and given to the speaker. Okay. The wideband amplifier म्हणजे काय, those signal amplifier which are using for television receiver. टेलिव्हिजन रिसिव्हर मध्ये ते एम्प्लिफायर वापरतात फॉर एम्प्लिफिकेशन ऑफ द व्हिडिओ सिग्नल्स. ओके. आता व्हिडिओ सिग्नल ब्रॉडकास्टिंग युझिंग द टेक्निक VSB, वेस्टिजियल साइडबँड मॉड्युलेशन. ओके. दॅट इज अ वाइड बँड एम्प्लिफायर having the range of 10 Hz to 5 MHz. And this is the based on this the class A, class B, class C, class AB power amplifier based on Q point. And based on coupling म्हणजे one stage we are connecting to another stage, one amplifier stage to the another amplifier stage we are connecting. So that is RC coupling, transformer coupling, direct coupling. Okay. So that is the gain is nothing but is ratio of the output to the input. So what is voltage gain? Output voltage to the input voltage. What is current gain? Output current to the input current. Okay. Input resistance should be high in case of amplifier. Output resistance should be small. Okay. Power gain, it should be high, infinite, because voltage gain, power gain is more, definitely voltage gain, current gain is more, so definitely power gain will be more. Okay, power gain should be high. Okay, so that is very important. So I am very thankful to all of you for watching this video. Thank you. Please like my video, subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.